What is up, everybody? It is August 31st, 6:55. Last official day of summer, except for those of us who live in Tampa. But according to the Meteorological Society, this is officially the end of summer. So cheers to that. Also, 6:56, we're about 4 minutes away from Game 5 of the Lightning and Bruins series. Look, man, this is it. Lightning got to wrap this up. They got to kind of put the kibosh on the series, move on, get some rest, and be ready for that this conference championship round here. So, cheers to everyone. Hope everyone had a great Monday. Hope everyone was safe, made it home to their loved ones safe, and just had a productive day. And they're ready to crack open a local, fresh brew and watch the Brew and Orange podcast. Listen to the podcast, however it is you like to enjoy this, and just watch the Lightning. So check out the shirt. There we go. I'm always going to have a shirt on theme. So go Lightning, go Bolts, man. That's what it's all about. Also watch your Rays tonight. But let's do what we always do. In the first part of the Brew and Orange podcast, we got a brew, none other than Sunshine City IPA. And this is from Green Bench out in St. Pete. So pretty neat little thing about this. They got the name of Sunshine City for the beer because they broke the record back in the 1970s. Or I guess 1967, 768 straight days of sunshine. So pretty interesting. Drink this beer a whole bunch, and I never read the can. So very cool Green Bench, very clever, very cool name. This is in walking distance from the Trop, so I would highly recommend going and catching the Rays when they eventually let fans in, and walk right over to Green Bench. So let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open. Now I will tell you, I gave this beer a lower rating a couple years back. Spilled a little bit. Hopefully no one saw that. So I gave this beer like a 3.5 or maybe even a 3 a couple years back. But then Thomas P's right here in Tampa, right by my house, had this beer on tap. And I have to tell you, I did Sunshine City and Green Bench wrong because this bad boy is a 3.75. So if you don't believe it, try it for yourself. Check out my Untapped at Brew and Orange. And go give this a rating. Look at this beautiful amber color, kind of sunshine. You can see it right there. Lives up to the name. So cheers. Happy Monday, everybody. Go Bolts, go Rays, go Bucks, go Bulls, go Gators, the whole 9 yards. So cheers to everybody. You saw that. That was quite a couple gulps right there because it's delicious. It's refreshing. Let's see what Untapped's got to say about it. I'm going to go right there. So remember, Brew and Orange, Untapped. Find me, check out the beers that I try, that I rate, and go try them for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Go and give it a shot. So I did give that a 3.75. Let's see what the flavor profiles is of this. Hoppy, tropical, citrusy, light, all the above. It's a delicious beer. I gave it a 3.75. I recommend, 10 out of 10 would recommend drinking that beer on the golf course, watching the podcast on the beach, or just watching the Bolt, which is about to happen. So let's jump right into some scrimmage updates. As you know, Mullen is not giving out a lot. I don't know where the sources get all this information from. It's not a lot of information. It's not detailed or in depth or anything like that. I don't know if they're climbing light poles or climbing trees or flying drones over the thing. Who knows? But a little bit of details from it. So I think the most notable would be Pitts, Grimes, and Copeland. And I think, Tony, they did not scrimmage. Pitts was held out just because Dan Mullen is being smart. He wants everybody healthy. He made it very clear that that was his number one objective going into the scrimmage, keep players healthy. Everyone, not just him, not just us, the country knows what Pitts is capable of. He did not need to be in that scrimmage. Trask played sparingly, but he was still sharp. I think he may have had a touchdown pass in there, but he was limited. Grimes, Tony Copeland did not practice, and I'm assuming did not scrimmage, and I'm assuming it's because they did not practice, or that's completely speculative on my part, so we'll see what happens when Mullen talks to the press this week. Running back position, Lingard looks good. He runs hard. He's got Mullen's eye. He's got the team's eye. He just needs to learn the playbook a little bit more. But in Pierce, he took a couple reps. He looked good. I think he did score a touchdown. Lingard is also catching the ball out of the backfield very well, something that P. Ryan did very well last year, something that is definitely going to get Lingard a lot of reps if he is able to continue that and catch the ball out of the backfield successfully. We know how Mullen loves to utilize the running backs out of the backfield like that. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Again, Grimes, Copeland, and Tony were out, so that just means that the young receivers got a lot of reps. I heard that there was kind of it was a little bumpy at first, but that's going to be a lack of timing between these quarterbacks and these young receivers who, with Grimes, Tony, Copeland, they got a lot of practice when those three guys are out, but then those guys comes in, obviously, and they get kicked back a little bit on the reps, and then they're thrown back into the scrimmage when Grimes, Tony, and Copeland aren't there to play. So a little bit of ups and downs. So that it kind of is what it is when it comes to the offense. Now, the defense, of course, we have all heard this entire season or this offseason that the defense is looking great. One name that stood out was Rashad Torrance. He was a 4-star guy coming out of high school. There's a picture of him online. He is a beast. He is in shape. He came ready to play. He's a D-cleaner, man. He is knocking people out coming across the middle. He's that savage in the back that is just don't throw across the middle and leave your wide receiver open because, man, he's going to get smacked by Torrance. That's a name to definitely watch out for. Looks like the Bolts are about to kick off here or puck drop. Rashad Torrance, watch out for that name. He's a beast. He's fast. He's strong. He's smart. Not afraid to come across the middle and lay some people out. He's that guy you want, more of that Reggie Nelson type. Not built that way, but, man, the dude, he's compact. He's ready to lay some people out. So, also interesting position change. Mullen hasn't given too much information about who's playing where, what the depth chart looks like. Brad Stewart is at the star position right now. So one thing I thought was pretty cool that Mullen talked about, he did say that, and we've noticed this with offense, he is a mismatch king. He thrives on that. He's successful about that. He's going to do that on defense. He said that he's going to rotate a bunch of guys out there, and you can speculate why that is. And I know people aren't happy about them rotating safeties out. However, at the star position, he wants Marco Wilson and Stewart to be at that position for different reasons to cause these different mismatches. If there's a smaller guy out there who you may not need to cover him as much, and you may be able to jump routes, you may be able to stymie him kind of in the middle of the field, Stewart's going to be your guy. If you got someone in that position in the slot who's going to be coming up against Marco Wilson, you need that coverage and that smart, high football IQ. He's going to put Marco Wilson back there. I thought that was interesting. I think it's really cool to kind of get that vision, that get into Mullen's head why he's rotating people out. It's obvious why you do it on offense. I just don't think you hear it as much on defense, that he really just wants to play the mismatch. That tells me that you've got some athletes on defense and you've got some people who can play in multiple positions. If he's able to switch it up and create mismatches now on defense, to me, that's a great sign. Whether Mullen wants to put that out there and for us to make those assumptions or not, I think that's a great sign that he's doing that. So Wingo had an interception off Emory Jones. Jalen Lee had a pick, and Jalen Lee is a freshman defensive lineman. Don't know who he picked off, but, hey, the defensive line must mean he's up there swatting the ball down, getting them big paws up there and catching these balls like that. That's something that no one's going to complain about, seeing your defensive lineman making those type of plays. I mean, that's Reggie White type stuff right there. So, again, Mullen's keeping everything close to the vest. He's not giving out a lot of information. He hasn't even released a depth chart yet. Typically, Mullen likes to release that depth chart the first day after fall practices and kind of after the first scrimmages, that kind of thing. You're not going to see that anytime soon. Just the same way you're not going to see Terrion Arnold make his decision. As I said last time, he put out a top 11, odd number. He put out a top 11. This is going to be a big boy battle. Like I said, Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. However, today, a Crystal Ball 247 kind of mod for the Florida State board put in a crystal ball for Florida. So take what you will from that. It looks like Florida's going to have some pretty good is going to have some good ground to make up with him. They are seen to be the leader, which is good because him and Sori want to play together. They're not a package deal. I know everyone likes to talk about, but it does seem that they're teammates. They want to play together. They've talked about it. That is something to watch, Sori and Terrion Arnold. So, hey, now Florida's on the board with a crystal ball. That seems to be the next person who could pop for a commitment for Florida. But like we said, he's going to slow play this. He's going to take this up to signing day. And I'll tell you why I think that's going to happen. There's a lot of talk about fans being able to come to these stadiums. I know here in Tampa, USF is going to make an announcement this week. I don't know if it's going to be USF, the Tampa Sports Authority, who runs Ray J. But we do expect to hear that fans are going to be able to be in the stadium. Not right away, but eventually. You saw Notre Dame. Looks like USF's going to play at Notre Dame on September 19th, and they're going to have fans in the stands. That I'm excited for. Like I said, there's 26 days until Gator football, even less for that USF Notre Dame game. So whether you're a Bulls fan or not, that's going to be some high-quality football right there to really see what Jeff Scott's put on the field. So that's official. So fans in the stands at Notre Dame, LSU. Notre Dame, USF. Fans will be in the stands. So just wait for the announcement. Hopefully Wednesday I have some more stuff for you on that. Dial in the 620. They're always kind of breaking some news like that. Hopefully there's fans. I know I'd wear a mask and go to the games. I love me some USF games. Love me some Gator games. 25%, 50%, whatever. Count me in. Wear your mask. I'm there. I don't care. So that's something to keep an eye on. So that's why I think that these student athletes, especially guys like Tunmise and Terrion Arnold, are going to wait because the dead period's going through September, so they may not be able to have their trip paid for, family and friends, to the game. But maybe mom and dad buy tickets, and that's their way of seeing Florida. That's their way of seeing campus. So if fans are in the stands, you can only assume that players are going to make their way down, whether it's an official visit or not. And I think that bodes well for Florida in any way. So like I said, a season advantage Florida when it comes to these recruits. Fans in the stands, double advantage Florida. Absolutely night and day every time. We've all seen the Swamp rocking. The Swamp's rocking 100% or 20%. It doesn't matter. So I would just keep an eye on the capacity to see what these states, it's going to be at a municipal level. States are going to make these determinations whether or not you can have fans in. I know Florida's talking about 25%. I know USF, while they don't really have the authority on that, it's going to be Tampa Bay Sports Authority. They're going to want fans in the stands. The Bucks were given about $10 million to make renovations, to make Ray J accessible with social distancing and all that kind of stuff. So keep an eye on that. That's something to definitely watch out for, because if fans are in the stands, that means student athletes are going to have unofficial visits happening. That's just my take on it. That's how I view that. So we're going to move right in. So like I said, I got it down here, 26 days till Florida Ole Miss. So I was thinking on the way home today, something I might start doing. There's 10 games this season. We don't have 10 weeks until the season, obviously. So I think starting Wednesday or maybe Friday, depending on what my Memorial Day weekend plans look like, I'm going to put together like just prediction podcast coming up. We'll do predictions for the Bucks season. We'll do predictions for the Gators coming up, and we're going to start that probably Wednesday. So we'll break down the different position battles, who I think has the advantage. I'll give you a score prediction at the end, and I'd like to get some of y'all's take on it. So please, if you have any, you can comment here in the comment section. Let me know. Another thing I want to do, if you have a favorite beer locally that I can get my hands on, let me know where to get it, and I'd love to review it and rate it. It doesn't have to be an IPA, although I'm sure you know I already like that. Those are my favorite beers. I love to drink those. But I'll try a lager, a stout, a sour. If you find something you want me to try, email me at brewandOrange@gmail.com. Or no, I'm sorry. I didn't make a Gmail. I made a Yahoo. brewandOrange@yahoo.com. Let me know a certain beer, where you can find it. I'll go get it. I'll buy it, try it, and rate it, and we can talk about it on here. I think that's really cool. I want to get y'all kind of in the mix. Let me know what kind of beers y'all like. I'll go try them. So I think that's pretty cool. So let's move right on to some Tampa Bay sports. I got about 15 minutes. This game's about to get rocking here, and I want to be dialed in. So the trade deadline came and went. The Rays didn't make many moves. They DFA'd Banda, which after that horrible freaking outing he had, he was just getting shelled, couldn't find the strike zone. He was so hit or miss. He's out. They didn't make any big moves. They got, I think they got an outfielder or something like that. I didn't really take much note on it because everyone was expecting them to get an arm. They didn't. So I would say that it was less than exciting to watch this trade deadline go by. Chaz Rowe isn't back yet, but I know Morton threw a bullpen, so he should be coming up here pretty soon. Other than that, let me see. Rays continue to win. Morton threw a bullpen. Beeks is having Tommy John. You can count him out, which is just a shame. That guy was so deceptive how he hit that ball like that. He had people falling all over the place. But I do want to give credit to one guy. Let's give credit to Yandy Diaz. The dude is batting almost 300 now. He leads the team in walks. You have a high average. low strikeout rate, and a high walk average, man, you're seeing the ball well, and he's also leading in opposite field home runs and extra base hits. That's a big man and with big, quick hands to be hitting the ball all over the field like that. So, again, Yandy Diaz, people were running their mouths about him. He did look slow. He looked off his game when the season started. But the man's hitting right now. I think he's batting .297. He leads the team in average. So Yandy Diaz has really turned around. And I just am really impressed with a power hitter hitting for average to have so many walks. Something to look out for. So the Rays are 24-11, 3.5 games above the Yankees right now, starting a big, big series tonight. So we got the Bolts on. You got the Rays on. We got Sun City IPA from Green Bench. Go check it out because their patio area is next to none. It's immaculate. It's a cool spot. Like I said, walkable from the Rays Stadium. Puck dropped. We got that over my left shoulder. If you're watching over the right over here, go Bolts, man. They got to wrap this up. It's a 3-1 lead. Let's just jump into that right now. 3-1 lead. They won 3-1 on Saturday. Thanks to my boy Justin for keeping the updates coming while I was floating on Ginnie Springs. Man, Ginnie Springs is a blast. I'd never been before. Didn't really know what the heck I was doing. Good thing I had my buddy AJ, my cousin AJ with me, who had been there and who could show me the ropes. Bring your own tube. If you go to Ginnie Springs, bring your own tube. PSA. Just listen to me and do it. Trust me. So Palat continues to be a machine. The guy scored multiple goals in multiple games now. He's also getting assists. Cooch again, 2 assists. We had Vassie with 29 saves. They need to put the pedal to the metal today. They really need to not let up. They've been stymieing that first line of the Bruins. You've got to keep Marchand and Chara and all those guys. And Pasternak, you've got to keep them down and out. You can't let them jump into this. And you can't give them even a breath of fresh air. You just got to stay on them because that's the only way you're going to win this game. So, more power play goals. They were 0 for 14. Then they've gone on a run. I think they're like 6 for 9 on power play. Don't quote me on that, but I bet you it's close. That's just how well they've turned it around. So that's going to pretty much do it. Oh, and one thing, Gervin Dexter was named to the Freshman All-American team. That's huge. That's just a really big honor. I know he was really proud of that, of course. But, hey, that's really cool. He's going to be a beast. He's going to get playing time this year, especially like we talked about on Friday, the whole you're guaranteed an extra year of eligibility if you're a fall athlete. So I would definitely watch out for Gervin Dexter to make a huge impact this year already. So there you go, man. That's 17 minutes in. We've got the Lightning game on. Bolts come on in about an hour. The Bucks didn't look good on offense, according to Arians. He said they were reading too many of the headlines, probably got a little bit too big-headed. However, today they came out, and it changed. However, I will say they did have a day off and then came out on Sunday and had that bad day. So maybe the day off, maybe they were reading too many headlines. I love how Arians is so blunt and upfront with how he feels. He doesn't care if it's Brady or Winston back there. He's going to tell you what's up. Stop reading the headlines. Score them touchdowns. Be Brady. Be the GOAT. The Bucks, they've got to do it. How about this for a prediction? My buddy Pat is a Tennessee Titans fan. He thinks that the New England Patriots pick up Leonard Fournette. The Patriots lose to the Titans in the AFC Championship and play the Buccaneers. Wouldn't he love that? He's a Tennessee Titan fan, and he lives in Tampa. So he'd love to see that. I'm not ready to make some Super Bowl prediction yet. Like I said, we've got prediction shows coming up here in the next week or so. It's a good shot on goal by the Lightning. So look, I'll come back on Wednesday. So here's some more news. Ron Zook will be on the Wednesday podcast. Yeah, freaking awesome. So now I've had Chris Leak. Now we're about to have Ron Zook. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow night, do the interview, but I will put it in with the podcast on Wednesday. So if you're watching, you'll just have to you'll just have to switch over and listen to it on Wednesday as well. But so Ron Zook, Wednesday podcast, going to be pretty cool. He's going to talk to me about kind of what it was like to those 2002 victory over Georgia, where he blew out Tennessee as well, upset LSU before they went on to win the championship that year. He had some big wins. I'm excited to talk to him. Really cool, down-to-earth guy. So that gives us Chris Leak, Ron Zook, and I'm working on some more former Gator players. Let me know who you want me to interview. I'll badger them until I can get them on. I'll see if I can get some connects. I'm thinking of stuff like Matt Elam, Jacquez Green, guys from all the different decades. I want to talk to guys who played with Spurrier. I want to talk to guys who played under Urban. So I think it's going to be Tate Casey. That's another guy, man. If any of y'all are listening, I'd love to talk about your time at Florida, all the successes, what it was like wearing the orange and blue, playing in the swamp under 100,000. And something I didn't know, Ron Zook coached the defensive backs under Steve Spurrier. So I thought that was pretty cool. So definitely tune in Wednesday if you want to hear about Ron Zook and hear him talk. Right now he is an analyst for the Maryland Terps under Mike Loxley, who actually Mike Loxley coached running backs at Florida when Ron Zook was the coach. A lot of connections there. So unfortunately, Ron Zook's sitting at home right now, but he's gracious enough to talk to me tomorrow night. So look forward to the Wednesday podcast. Thanks everybody for coming on. Hey, Rays and Bolts on tonight. The Bolts look to close out round 2, win game 5 tonight, and the Rays play the Yankees. So big Tampa sports all around. And we're going to see you Wednesday. I'll come back with any updates that I see from scrimmage. Mullen will be on the Zoom meeting tomorrow. And look for that announcement for fans being in the stands for USF games, hopefully Florida games. And, hey, hopefully I'll see y'all there. Cheers from the Brew and Orange podcast. Go get yourself some Sun City IPA from Green Bench. Hey, and if you want some fire craft beer merchandise, go to beerthrone.com. At checkout, put in Brew and Orange, capital B, capital O, all one word, Brew and Orange, at checkout for 15% off. Cheers, everybody. Have a great rest of your Monday. When I'm done with this, I may have me a nice little Monday margarita. Go Bolts, man, and I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Come check out the Ron Zook interview. Cheers and happy Monday, everybody. Go Gators, go Bolts, go Rays, go Bucks, go Bulls, all of them.